has been, April's group, BAC, has organized canvassing out to the valley to those critical districts that we're looking to win. So April, I'm going to go ahead and take it on. I hope, can you give us just a short, let's a review, make sure everybody's on board. This is what Prop 50 is.
Yes, actually, I'm going to use the official talking points that we
Thank you.
have. I like to be consistent. Um, there's 5 key messages about what's happening right now. The first is Proposition 50 is going to let the voters decide on whether to change our districts outside of the purview of the redistricting commission that the voters actually voted for during the Schwarzenegger administration. The reason why we're doing this is because it will level the playing field in 2026. My favorite example I've heard, I'm not really a poking the bear fire kind of person because I'm not really into kind of violent imagery, but a lot of people like sports. So that's why I like this one. When we talk about leveling the playing field already, if you were in a soccer match, rugby, baseball, whatever you play, and all of a sudden your opposing team just got 5 more players and brought them on the field, what would you do? Would you just say, oh, gee, those people are pretty big, they're pretty fast, and there's 5 more of them than we've got, so I guess we're probably going to lose? No, we wouldn't do that. We'd say, if you get 5 players, we're getting 5 players. So that's kind of how this happened. Texas kind of started it. And one of the provisions of this proposal was if Texas backed down and no other states started gerrymandering, we wouldn't do it either. So this is in a response to something that has happened. This commits to fair redistricting, not only in California, but nationwide. And we want to make sure that California retains the number of Democratic seats we have, because that really helps us, even in a Congress when we're not in a majority. We have so many stars in the state, like Ro Khanna and Eric Swalwell and our new star, Sam Liccardo. We don't want that to be watered down, and basically we don't want to be deactivated. So that's another reason why we need to do this. Unlike Texas, our redistricting proposal will be voted on by the voters of California. It's just not our legislature that is going to decide to do this, whether or not we agree with it. So that's a major difference on what we are doing and how it's different. It's fair and proportional, and it provides maps that are in response to the kind of tricks that the Texans have been playing about this. So we're going to do this. We wanted to do it in a smart way. There's 5 districts that basically 5 seats that we're hoping that we're going to be able to gain. And also it is temporary. And that's one thing that a lot of voters who aren't really too sure about this, when you tell them it's temporary and that in 2030, after the next census, we'll revert to the same redistricting commission, it tends to make people feel a little less threatened by it. We need to do this because not to do it would, I think, unfortunately echo what a lot of people are feeling frustrated with the Democrats about. It's like, you're letting all these people do all this stuff that's illegal and you're not doing anything. Yes, we're doing something. And thanks to our governor, Gavin Newsom, for pushing this to the forefront. And basically with that attitude, well, if you're going to do this, we're going to answer. I'm not a big person for polling, but I thought somebody might ask. So I looked up the latest poll that I found, which was September 19th. Support was 51%, opposition was 34%, undecided was 15%, but among likely voters for November 4th, it was approved of by 55%. Um, I mean, it's great if it looks like the numbers are in your favor, but we all have who have done politics a long time know that you never assume anything until all the ballots are counted. So, I mean, it's better that we're ahead than behind, but we must in no way take for granted that this is just going to come our way without a lot of effort and a lot of focus and a lot of incredible commitment. So the first thing I did, because I wanted to make sure it worked, in the chat, it's a much longer message than you usually see, but that's all hyperlinks on ways that you could get involved. Generally, when we've been canvassing, and actually Bill and Nancy Raby were with us on the 20th in San Mateo. When people open the door, and we've been having about 15 to 20% conversation rate, which is actually quite good. Excuse me. I've been talking all day, so at some point my voice just might be gone, but we'll do our best until then. Of the people that answer the door, they're generally happy that somebody came to talk to them. And about 75 or 80% of the responses were positive, like, yes, I know what it is. Yes, I'm going to vote for it, which is really important. Uh, our job as San Mateo County is to pull every vote out of this county yes vote that we can get. And we have a lot of Democrats here and a lot of frequent voters. So that's our job, not just figure, well, we're a blue county and so it'll probably win here. Yeah, great. We want it to win by as close to 100% here as possible because we have to counterbalance the no votes that are going to come from other counties. And, dare I say it, there's probably some cities and some neighborhoods in our county that might go kind of red. So we really have to maximize the potential we have to turn those votes out. So that's why we are focusing on phone banking for people who prefer not to canvass or canvassing. And as Susie said, and as the chat will show you, thanks to the incredible organizing efforts and commitment of our grassroots groups in this county, which I see Dave Martinez is on. He's with Indivisible, but the Indivisible groups, Swing Left, have just taken over this organizing. And as a Democrat, I have to say, I'm glad you're there. I'm also a little bit concerned that it's not like the Democrats that are really way out in front on this one. So, what I would say is the more Democrats, Central Committee members, Democratic clubs we can get involved, the better. Because we really want to be equal partners with the grassroots groups who have basically picked up the mantle and have, events like every weekend. I think that Dave is staging a canvas every weekend. And then on the days when he's not working, he comes and helps me on mine. So this kind of commitment is just fabulous to see. So I
Hey,
want to see
April,
it replicated.
did you say you've already put it into the chat? Because I'm not seeing it.
Oh, it's because I didn't put, no wonder it wasn't there.
Okay.
I'm used to just cut and paste on a computer. I just push the button.
Well, I've also seen with Zoom, sometimes you have to do
Oh,
it.
it's so many words. Okay,
It's
get rid
if
of
it's
half of
too
this.
big, you have to cut into smaller bits to put
No,
into.
I'm just gonna do the knock doors and the phone calls, and the rest of the stuff I'll just talk about. So let
Okay.
me see if I can get rid of this. Thank you for noticing though.
And
Wait,
let me also say, is the same information also on the volunteer page of SMC Dems on the website?
yes, that's
Okay.
right. But
So
I
that's all.
like when everybody's sitting here at this moment for them to just click the links now. But why
Yes.
isn't this letting me do this? Oh, okay. Let's see if it works now. 2000 still?
Yeah, there's limitations there.
Okay, wait. Let me just take out everything that it describes what it is. 1900. Gosh, it really, okay. Okay, I'm going to take one more thing out. 1500. Oh, I'm going to take the phone banks off. 1056. Oh, phooey. Okay. Um, just let me take the dates off. When you click on it, it will tell you the date. 10,043. Okay, this is good.
Getting there, getting there. Yeah, it
1042.
Zoom is awfully fussy about putting stuff into chat. It's got to be.
Okay. Oh, I'll take out the San Francisco one because I think people kind of live kind of far south. Yay. Okay.
Here
So
we
there
go.
they are. We're going to be knocking doors in Redwood City a couple times. We've already been in San Mateo. We'll be back. For those of you who live in Menlo Park, we've got canvases in Palo Alto. And the one that I'm really pushing, because a lot of Central Committee members will be there, is on Sunday, this day in South San Francisco.
Uh,
Um, to the comment that I believe Susie made about wanting to be present in communities where we haven't done a lot of work. Um, South City is definitely an area where we need to establish closer relationships. We have a great city council now, and they've been wonderful to work with. We have like a union hall that we're going to be able to organize out of. And the San Mateo County Central Labor Council is a co sponsor of this event. So we've got labor, we've got Working Families Party, we got Democrats, we've got California nurses, we've got California teachers. So this is really a great representation of our values and our goals for this country. So please, please, please come out. If you can't walk, you can help get people what they need and send them out. And we will actually have refreshments at the end of the canvas, which these days, there's not a lot being provided by the state party at all because it's a really tight timeline. So please, please, please click on that South San Francisco link, or I will feel like my time here has been totally a failure. And you don't want me to feel like that. I know
well,
you don't.
can
So
you
just
talk more?
click the link.
Can you talk a little more in
Yes.
depth about what the canvases will do? Do they have handouts that they can leave? Um, do they just
Yeah.
good?
Actually, Bay Area Coalition is working on the canvases, and we're providing what we call our concierge services, which means when people sign up, we get in touch with them personally, thank them for signing up, make sure they know where they're going to go, when they're going to go, and let them know everything they need to bring. Um, we are using the walk pieces that the state party has given us. We just got some new ones for GOTV. And in South San Francisco, one of our groups that is AAPI um, Alliance and the San Mateo County Latinx Democrats have produced their own walk piece because the one that we got from the state party was pretty horrific. It was dark gray and it had a picture of the idiot on the front, which was confusing people, saying, well, why is this picture on here? If I vote yes, does that mean I'm supporting him? Like, no. But at any rate, it's a much brighter, more positive message and features some of our elected officials who have quotes actually about why you should vote yes
Oh,
on
that's good.
proposition. So it's really good. So basically, you get there, you get oriented, you get your literature. We help you with your smartphone because it's all technology based now. How you get the addresses where you're going to walk, and it's an app that you can download, and we help you get it into it, and you basically see it on the screen on your phone. For people that aren't real big on the technology part of it, what works out great is for to pair people. Like one person will go to the door, talk to the voters, the other person handles the technology part of it, and we find that that's worked out really well. Each event is only about 3 hours long, and we target neighborhoods that are right around where we are meeting for our canvas. So last week was areas of Shoreview in San Mateo, which is
Yep.
great because we always don't get to Shoreview. And then again, this week it'll be around South San Francisco. We are very appreciative of the fact that people are working together so well. And Josh Becker is going to be our guest speaker at the Canvas in South City on Sunday, which again we appreciate. And he really needs to be appreciated for so much that he's been doing in Sacramento. And we're really happy that he's going to come and work with us. Again, at the doors, we do have flyers that we leave if people aren't home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know a lot of you have done traditional voter registration, are used to like the long form and where you help people fill it out. What we found now is it's a lot easier to just have a big copy of the QR code that takes you to the Secretary of State's website where you can register to vote there. And people access it with their phone. And if they don't really want to stand and fill out a form, or if they don't have their social security number on them, or they don't have their driver's license with them, or they can't find it, then they can just access the QR code, have the website, and then when they have more time, they can fill it in. The one benefit, excuse me, to doing it online also is that if you make any errors or you leave out any information in the online version, the system will not accept your application and it will tell you to go back and fix the errors. Those of you who have, and like Elsa, I see you, who have done the paper voter registration, if for some reason you forget or the new voter forgets to put down some information, the county elections has got to try to find them to correct it or they're not going to be able to vote. The last thing I'll say about voter registration is only until October 20th can you register online or with a paper form. After that, people in our county, thank goodness, because we're an early vote and making it easy to vote county, people can go to any voting center, register, and vote at the same day. And as Bill Wessel said, when you talk about this, make sure that people understand that no matter what your situation is, if you're a citizen and you believe you're registered, or you could register again, you have the right to fill out a provisional ballot. So anybody that goes into a voting center needs to be given a provisional ballot. If it turns out later that the person was not actually eligible to vote, because maybe they had the wrong information or they hadn't re-registered, then the provisional ballot won't be counted. But in our state, anybody that goes who's a citizen who goes into a voting place needs to be able to get a provisional ballot. That also includes felons. As long as someone is no longer incarcerated, they can vote even if they haven't finished their parole or their probation. So this is another thing. Sometimes at the doors, people will say, well, I can't vote. And if they're willing to share, well, I have a felony, you can, let them know. And again, that's when you're canvassing, you could tell them that, no, you're eligible and you can vote as long as you're registered. So that's pretty much what we do. There's so much ground that we need to cover. We do not anticipate that we're going to be going back to any of these neighborhoods. Speaking of neighborhoods, though, if you have like a book group, a church group, dog walking, knitting group, and you'd like to do some walking yourselves, we can set you up with that. It's not quite as involved as doing a bigger one because there are fewer people, but we can get you the information you need, and we can also get you the pieces that you can hand out. Even just going to the Democrats in your neighborhood which that app that we have through PDI can show you within a half a mile radius of your house, every voter, and you can see like who's Democrats in your neighborhood and just go by, talk to them about Prop 50. If you have, we can give you handouts to hand out to them. Because again, this is a numbers game. We need as many yes votes as possible. So, any other questions about the canvas itself?
Uh, May I just ask one? And Diana, I'm so sorry. I mean, Diana, you're April. Um, I may have missed this, but are we only doing Dems on the list, or are there independents who have voted Dem based on their history?
Really good question. We are visiting frequent voting, and like those of you who are familiar, like 5 out of 5 means the person has voted 5 times out of the last 5 elections. So we're visiting like threes, fours, and fives of Democrats, and then Democratic leaning declined to state voters who do not live with a Republican. So we're doing our best to make sure that you don't have to be challenged to a debate with the MAGA. We can't 100% guarantee you won't find someone of that sort, but we don't at all encourage you to engage with them. Just if it's pretty obvious that they're a no and they're going to tell you why you're a terrible person because you're a yes, you're going to say, well, thanks so much and have a great day.
Right.
And just leave. We're not really trying to convince anybody that's against us. But again, sometimes when people understand, first of all, that if they want this to pass, it's a yes vote, because there has been some confusion with that. Yes, to stop the power grab, and yes, for a temporary redistricting, people do feel more comfortable with it and then tell us that they're going to be voted, that they will vote for it. The ballots are going out next week. So our whole focus now is going to change to finding out if they have their ballot, if they know how to fill it out, and if they have filled it out. Sometimes people will say, oh, yeah, I already voted. Sometimes it's good to say, oh, well, I'm just curious. Did you take it to a drop box? Did you take it to a voting center? Or did you put it in the mail? And then sometimes I'll say, well, I'm going to put it in the mail, but I haven't done it yet. So one of the things we encourage you to do as a canvasser is say, oh, well, I have a few minutes. Do you want to fill it out right now? I saw a mailbox like just a block away. And, we could just walk down there. Or, maybe your dog wants to go for a walk. Or we are legally able to take the ballot from them if you fill out the part on the back, the part that says if somebody's helping you vote. And that is not illegal. So you can actually help them, meaning you don't do the work, you just kind of point to them. And because again, if you've registered voters, if people like have bad handwriting, you can fill the whole thing out, but they sign it. You can't do that with the ballot. With the ballot, the person needs to check the mark themselves and sign it, but they can give it to the canvasser to immediately put in a drop box or the mailbox. So that's the other thing that we're going to be doing, and just really concentrating on finding out if people got their ballot, and then if they didn't get it, give them the phone number to call at county elections so that they can inquire, or just go same day registration and just register again. And if they were already registered, no harm, no foul. They just won't count them again. But the main thing is, if people want this to pass, we want them to vote. Okay, let me see what else I thought I was going to talk about. You can tell I'm like totally obsessed with this because this is what I do like all the time, is getting people to the polls. If canvassing is not how you'd like to be involved, we do have the phone banks happening 6 days a week. We have training in the phone banks. You do it from home. You do it with your computer and your phone. And again, we're calling high propensity Democratic voters, pretty much like harvesting the crop that, that's ready for harvest. I mean, we're not like trying to, go and look for that one, lone squash plant out in the wilderness. We want to go to the big field of the squash and harvest all of them that are right in front of us, so that we'll have a big party on November 4th. So the phone banking is helpful. The link didn't get in there, but it is on SMC Dems. Oh, actually, I could put it in there. But just let me know if you need to find it. But I'll do this. Bay Area Coalition will will have all of this information for you with easy to follow links and very excellent colorful graphics, I must say. So just click on that and you'll find all the Canvas stuff we're talking about, plus the phone banks. I'm very happy that there are 2 Spanish language phone banks a week, because it's really critical that we turn out the Latino vote. Because when we don't have big Latino turnout, a lot of times we lose. The Latino Community Foundation released polling last week that said 65% of Latinos that they surveyed are planning to vote in the special election, which is great. And a majority of Latinos did favor Prop 50. But again, what we need to do is solidify that support. So any of you who are fluent Spanish speakers and would like to be involved with the Spanish language phone bank, that's a possibility. That's 2 times a week. So that's the volunteer part of this. Of course, having a sign in your yard, and Diana's done a great job about making that happen. And thanks to that. The state party actually has sent us some rally signs, which is basically like a window sign, so that when we go out in public, we have yes on Prop 50 materials. And for those of you who are planning to be at the protest, October 18th, for No Kings, and don't make a sign of your own for whatever reason, or you have friends coming with you that, kind of want to stand there but didn't have time or interest to make a sign, we could get those signs distributed, because we got I think 1,000 of them, and so a goodly number will be available. I haven't seen them yet. They just got delivered, but I should see them in the next couple of days. So that's always helpful too. My understanding is that No Kings, this next one, will be very heavily focused on yes on 50. So we just want to be congruent with all our messaging, depending on like what's happening and what's the most immediate thing that we need to be looking at right now. And it is between now and November 4th, it's Prop 50. Okay, does anybody have questions? That was pretty much what I was going to talk about. And I knew it wouldn't take an hour.
Well,
which is good, because you could tell I'm getting hoarse.
and what I think I'll do is, why don't I add a little bit, because we do have requests out for voter registration, and that includes the College of San Mateo every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the San Carlos Art and Wine October 11th and 12th. There's training available. This was in our newsletter, and I will also put the contact info for those into chat. Yes, and you were talking about voter registration, and yes, I've had more people, oh good, let me grab the QR code, and then they'll stand there for 3 or 4 minutes, fill it out while they've got somebody they can ask questions of, but they're doing it on their phones. So that way, everything is secure. You're not giving your info out to anybody, and it's getting through. The other one I will say is, if you are meeting somebody and they're not sure that they are registered, you can always go to the San Mateo County elections, and they have a uh, My election info. And this is, you put your address, you name and address in, and it verifies whether you're registered in the county. So if in doubt, and then if in doubt, you can always register again. That's always out there. Diana, you want to add?
Thank you. I just wanted to report that many of you are aware that I do protests every Friday, and one of our members was so concerned about our having focused Yes on 50 outreach that she has added Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for 1 hour at our Jefferson and El Camino site. And it's just Yes on 50. So I was, and so we had our first one tonight, actually. It's just for an hour, and it's been great. And I wanted to say that if the rally signs are the same ones that we picked up at the Labor and Board of Supervisors rally that they had earlier last month, I love those signs because it's a picture of the country. It's the United States, and it says yes on 50. And it's very clear that yes on 50 is not just for Democrats, it is not just for Californians, but we are doing this for the whole country to make us more democratic in our country. So it's really good. The other thing I wanted to add was I personally am signed up for San Carlos in the afternoon, and I just got a message that they really need people on Saturday afternoon. So if anyone is available to help out, the voter registration is also doing a lot of Yes on 50. They have
Right.
signs, they have stickers, they have lots of materials, Yes on 50 materials. So that's another opportunity to get involved. Today, I planted a whole lot of yard signs in East Palo Alto, and I went with a friend who knew all the spots to go to, and I have to go back because I ran out of signs. But I could also use some help in North Fair Oaks um, and some other cities where we need to cover. So I think that's it. April, you're fabulous. One of the things that Susie missed in the introduction is that um, many of us consider April the heart behind the Devil's Slide, the that whole thing, the tunnel. That would not have happened in the view of many of us if it had not been for April. So I just wanted, if I had been the one making that introduction, I definitely would have added that piece, and I wanted to make that
I
comment.
didn't clarify. I just said coastal.
Yeah, no, but the tunnel
Yeah.
was a big deal, and yeah, it was really a big deal. So, and it's
And who
there, and it's
who said
making
April?
that safer.
Well,
Yeah. So,
yeah. Oh,
Diane, just to
one of
add,
the other.
it was me and about 20 other people who lived in Montera, like literally women whose kids were at the daycare center that was going to be the view of Montera Mountain was going to be ruined by the freeway that Caltrans wanted to build. And I think those of you who do politics know if you get a bunch of moms riled up, you get a lot
that's
of.
true.
So literally, it was about 20 to 30 people that
That's yeah, that's generous of you, but there's some reason why April's name kept floating to the top. So
To the top.
just to say, yeah, that's very humble of you, but yeah, it doesn't change what I said. Thank you.
Um,
we won that one, and I respond very positively to success. So I won this huge thing, and I thought, oh, well, this is kind of good. Maybe I should do more of this stuff. And so here I am, all these years later.
Yay. Well, aren't we glad to have you? Uh, Pop 50, that one of the things I wanted to talk about for a minute was the bannering over the highway. And I wanted to ask, is that a good, is that getting a good response? Is that, I know there's some events, I think it's Burlingame, maybe Belmont, that are doing the banners over the highway.
And I
Uh,
think Menlo
And
Park.
Palo Alto.
Palo Alto, yeah. And I'm just kind of wondering what, Is that one that we would recommend people to also go out and help with? Um, okay. And I had that on our newsletter. Um, and I put the website for the San Mateo County Dems in the volunteer area. It does have links to all of these. Um, are there more Prop 50 opportunities? Elsa?
I just wanted to add to the bannering. We all know that canvassing one-to-one is the most effective thing you can do. But because of this 30 million, not billion, thank you, Marshall, that, per month that the other guys are putting up there and the vociferous of those ads, vociferousness, I think it really helps to see it everywhere you can, to see yes on it, on bridges, but yard signs, fabulous, fabulous. So it's, if you're not canvassing at the time and you can stand there, it takes no effort. You don't have to think and you don't have to walk anywhere once you're up on the bridge.
Mm,
It's a piece of cake. So I do think that's worth it.
okay. Um, well, let's go, continuing kind of with Prop 50, but talking about the October 18th. So there are lots and lots of locations that you can go and be part of this. I put into our newsletter Hillsdale Mall. They're going to be at 31st and El Camino. In Colma at Winifred Serra and Serramonte Boulevard. Pacifica from at Maury Point Trail and California 1. Redwood City at the County Center. Half Moon Bay, Highway 1 and Miramonte Points. And then Palo Alto is going to have a parade from Town and Country Shopping Center to Rinconada Park. And then We the People Democracy Fair after that. So there are tons of places. And if at every one of these, you're bringing something that also says yes on 50, along with no kings or whatever, other topic. But if every one of us does that, that is also going to be a really big, these are all at very public places, lots of traffic, lots of really good visibility. And I think that will be a really successful option, whether it's a march or you're just being on a street corner. Lots of people together, and bring your bells, whistles, um, anything that is going to help bring attention. If you got a drum, bring it. Elsa, wait, you're muted.
Sorry, normally at those events, I always bring a healthcare sign, but in this case, I would only bring yes on 50 because we have 3 weeks left, or really
Well,
0 weeks because it
I would
was.
I'm kind of going one hand on, one sign in each hand, yes on 50, and you could do a healthcare over here because that's your main topic, or yes on 50 and schools. You know, these are all, these all work together. If we don't get Prop 50 passed, if we don't get control back to Congress, um, all of these things are going to go away. So, let me also come back and look at what else have we got on our events. Um, let's see. There's also the League of Women Voters is doing a pro and con on Prop 50. So people that didn't come tonight or see our recording, you can also attend the League of Women Voters. That'll be on Zoom on October 9th. That will also be recorded and up on their website. And this is a joint effort between the League of Women Voters of North and Central San Mateo County and the League of Women Voters of South San Mateo County. So that'll be available for more information. And then at the end of the month, we've got Um, the Saving Our Democracy, a community conversation, and this is with Congresswoman Anna Eshoo. And this is now on Thursday, October 23rd at the Women's Club of Palo Alto. And making sure that everyone knows that date got changed. So it's October 23rd now. So there's lots and lots of events. And if you're going to one of those, and maybe you can have a yes, I'm 50 button, but check first before you go that you can actually do that. Some of these will want to be nonpartisan and ask you to leave anything like that in the car. And that one is I'm going to say, yes, that one is in person only, I believe.
And it's also put on by Indivisible and Democrat Anna Eshoo. So I don't think
and Swing Left.
But all the democratically oriented things.
Well, they're oriented, but they're not they're not Democratic Party. So it's, you don't want to, yeah. Or if they ask you to take off a button, be graceful about it. So, yeah. All right. Are there other events that we've got upcoming that we can use to help promote Prop 50? Anything else that you guys are hearing about? Anybody? Okay. So we do have lots, but I think what April was saying and Elsa, also voted on was that canvassing is our best opportunity. And even if you can't go in the next week or two, later in the month is still very valid because that's going to get the people that haven't bothered to vote and aren't even sure they will. And those are the votes we most need.
And most people vote in the very end anyway.
That's true. That's true. And it's just as easy that if you need to go get a provisional ballot, that's fine. That works. If you've moved and didn't get a chance to do that yet, well, you can do that at the vote centers. So, all right. I'm just kind of looking to see, was there more that we want to promote with Prop 50? Any other options that we've got there?
Not to put him on the spot, but Dave Martinez, if you're still here, did you have anything that you'd like to add?
Yeah, good point.
Dave, you're muted.
When do we get the ballots?
Next week.
Okay.
They should be coming out next week. Yeah. So by this time next week, you should probably have it. Yeah. Okay. The only other thing I really have is we'll go into task force reports because I think we've really gotten into all of our events, and particularly because those are all going to be events where we're promoting Prop 50.